the beach.
Oh, does it now?
Did you know about California, Adam? There's
Yeah, I've
beaches
been there
all
before.
along the state,
You don't say.
everywhere.
Huh.
So
That's
so what's
funny.
the deal here? I was told I would meet you and movie toaster Dennis,
He's on his
Mr.
way. We
Hart.
just got to wait a couple of minutes. He's very excited to talk to you finally. It's been, I guess you guys have never fully met,
I was
but
gonna
he's really
say
excited.
he's my
Couple
favorite
minutes.
movie toaster, yet he's never here. What is with
I
that?
see. I would have taken you as a movie toaster Tommy fan or John,
Oh,
but Dennis,
the
I don't know.
golden
Huh?
age.
It really
We can't
is.
wish for what won't return there, Adam.
Maybe
I've given up
one day,
hope.
Chris. All right, fair enough. You mind just waiting a few
Tommy,
more minutes?
prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, Tommy.
Fair enough. Fair enough. How you doing, Chris? It's been a while.
I've been busy. I've been in
Yeah.
a lot of
Hey, I gotta ask.
movies.
There's been a rumor floating around for a little bit, where you wanted to rent out an entire venue for the Eras tour to watch Taylor Swift perform just for you and a bunch of cardboard
Oh.
cutouts of you.
Oh, yes.
Is any truth behind that?
Well, the only thing that is incorrect about this story is that I only attempted to do it once. It happened about 12 times. I'm not sure. I was
Oh.
rather inebriated. It was great.
Oh boy.
Nothing better than watching a movie with yourself. Oh, and that Taylor.
Yeah.
She's wonderful.
Yes, she people love her.
That is
Hey man.
the greatest cyborg I've ever seen. I can't wait until the next version. Oh no, Adam.
Oh.
You don't think she's real, do you? Come on.
I mean, why wouldn't she be, Chris?
She's a robot.
I doubt that. The robots aren't that good.
Oh, that's sad football player. I feel sorry for him. He doesn't get it. He's just a part of the machine.
Hey, maybe he's a robot.
No. They can't play sports, Adam. You're silly.
I guess not. Well, I just got a text from Dennis saying that he's not going to be here for another like 5-10 minutes. Can you wait a little longer?
I can do my best, but I've got a lot of press to do for my most recent film, so we're gonna have to keep it kind of tight here.
All right. Well, I'll ask you some questions while we're waiting. Is that all right?
Good. I hope so. By the way,
well,
you're
first
my
and foremost,
favorite movie toaster. Just so you know.
Well, there's only two of us, so that's kind of a slap in the dick. But all right, thank you though, Chris. I appreciate that.
Don't think too hard, okay?
I try not to.
Just take the compliment, sir.
I appreciate it, and I appreciate you being part of our film festival last year and ordering so many Blu-rays. What'd you end up doing with all those Blu-rays that you ordered from us?
You know, when you were a child and you would build a house of cards, I do that with Blu-ray discs. It's much harder. It takes a lot.
It sounds difficult
with no corners. I tell you, I'm still not done. I'm still all these Dolly Parton DVDs. I'm trying.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a classic.
I'm doing it.
She'd be proud.
Next
year. Speaking of proud, I just saw Dune Part 2 last night, and you were fantastic in it.
Oh yes.
What was that like working with
green everywhere?
Green?
Yes.
What was green?
I didn't. Everything. Everywhere.
No, I think you guys shot on location. I thought. No, was it all just a green screen?
You tell me. I don't know.
I wasn't on set, so I can't. All right. So, what was it like working with Timothy Chalamet? That guy seems cool.
Oh, Timothy Chalamet. Yes, such a sweetheart. Oh, I would work with that girl anytime. She's just a little cutie.
Are you thinking about Zendaya? No. Timothy's a man.
No, the Zendaya. She could do much better. Let me tell you. But
better than what?
No, the little curly headed girl that starred in the movie.
No.
No?
That's a man. He plays Willy
Oh.
Wonka. He's a guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
You didn't know that?
Whatever
You
you
couldn't tell
say.
talking
Whatever you
to him?
say. I don't know.
How about Josh Brolin? What was it like working with Josh Brolin? He's a pretty good guy.
Oh,
huh?
I was a big fan of his father. I expected no less. He's wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Anything like James? Have you worked with James Brolin before?
He drank just as much hot Mountain Dew as I did. I couldn't believe he was in on the secret. He knew.
Now, what is it about a hot Mountain Dew that you like so much?
Oh, the medicinal properties. Let me tell you.
How so?
It just does everything. What do you name something? It'll do it.
Okay,
I can ask. I've lived as long as I have.
Well, you're not that old. You're what, 70 something?
That's a wild misconception. I'm actually 42.
Oh, wow. I swear you've been acting longer than 42 years, huh?
So they say. I'm not a robot like Taylor, though. I'm not.
Now, why are you not on camera right now? This is a video podcast right now, and I'm looking at a picture from Pulp Fiction here. What's going on?
What am I finding roles? No, I'm getting in character for my next film. I can't talk too much about it.
Are you in Tarantino's last movie?
Oh, I can't say. I'm just undergoing a certain visual change. I don't want to spoil it for you and your movie fans. You toasties? You call them toasties? I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Now I gotta ask something that's kind of weird to me. In Dune Part 2, your daughter is Florence Pugh. There's a bit of an age gap there. Why wasn't she like your granddaughter?
Contrary to the name, she doesn't smell.
I would hope not.
Say Pugh. Oh no, it's not even. It's you don't even want to.
I was afraid that's why Zach Braff and her broke up, because of the smell. No.
Oh, funny enough, Zach didn't smell too good.
I mean, he didn't work on that movie.
That smelled better. So
funny enough. All right. Now, Denis Villeneuve, that guy's a very prolific film director. Have you seen any of his previous movies before this? Before working with him?
No, I don't watch too much. I just went to his bunker in his backyard.
His bunker?
It was good.
Why does he have a bunker?
Just like, you don't have a bunker. Why wouldn't you have a bunker? Everyone should have a bunker. What are you talking about? You never know when a fighter jet will crash land in your backyard, Adam.
It's very unlikely. How often does that happen?
It did in the documentary film I starred in. Blast from the Past. It happened.
It's not a documentary, Chris.
That's what you think.
I mean, it was a feature-length film. Brendan Fraser is not your son?
Oh, my son. Oh, don't say that. Brendan, always be my son.
Now, the Oscars, they're coming up. What are you rooting for this year? What do you want to see win Best Picture?
The Last of Us was great.
That's a TV show and a video game. That's not up for an Oscar.
That's what you say. In my mind, I say it was a cinematic experience. That should.
It was
a new category.
Well, that's why you got the Emmys. The Emmys and Spirit Awards and whatnot. They've won plenty of awards.
Emmys are trash. Come on, it's all about the Oscars.
Oh man, Chris, what can you tell me about Dune Part 2? What can you tell the audience? Like, what's going to get their asses in the seats? What are you excited about for this movie?
Sand. It gets everywhere. It's gritty, and I hate it.
I'm not a fan myself, but luckily they're watching a movie, so that doesn't factor into anything.
But you got to go to a theater that has sand. It'll really.
I don't think that exists.
Oh, you're not going to the right places, my friend. You got to go to a theater with sand.
No, never been. Unfortunately,
it's worth it, especially for this one, because then you.
What if it gets in the popcorn? I don't want to live in fear, man.
Well, then you get to fist your weird sandworm popcorn bin.
No, I'm good.
Out the sand. Oh, seems we've lost Movie Toast to Adam. So, in the meantime, I'm going to tell you about my favorite December tradition. That's Movie Toast the Festival. That's right. It's coming back again. I get the whole family around the computer and we watch it on my tiny 10-inch screen. But it's wonderful. I mean, I suppose you could watch it on a larger screen. You could probably stream it on YouTube. But Movie Toast the Festival over at filmfreeway.com.
I'm sorry about that, Chris. I think I lost Chris. He was just baffling. I don't know what was going on with him anyways. Dennis should hopefully be here soon and we can get this actual show going. I thought Chris was going to want to talk about the movie Dune Part 2, but I guess not. But all right, so let's play the theme song here. I'll talk to you on the other side. Hopefully Dennis will be here soon. So yeah, I think we lost Chris there as well. I don't know what's going on, technical difficulties, but we got to get into this show. I'm gonna talk to you guys on the flip side. We're gonna play that theme song, and hopefully things will smooth it out for us. All right, so with no further delay, let's play that theme song.
It's the Movie Toasty Show, here for you. Dennis and Adam joke about orgasms and sweet movie reviews.
We talk about TV too, right?
I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. Movie Toast.
Oh, hold up there, Adam. I am not getting audio from you, buddy. Unfortunately, well, folks, welcome.
There we go.
Oh, there it is. There he is. All
184 episodes and forgets to unmute his mic. What an amateur. Oh, man. Welcome to episode 184 of Movie Toast News and Reviews. Dennis, I am happy to be here. Unfortunately, before you jumped on, I was interviewing the legendary actor Christopher Walken about Dune Part 2.
Come on.
You missed him. I tried stalling.
I tried to get set up as soon as I could, man. I'm really sorry. I know I hate
it happens.
It always works out this way. I'm starting to think he avoids me. I think he hates me. I honestly
apparently you're his favorite movie toaster.
I don't buy it.
Then
why does
I'm his second favorite.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know what's going on there.
I don't know what.
That's what I told him. He said not to think too hard about it.
Say it. Ooh, that's not a good. Not good.
It was kind of a slap in the face.
A little brutal. I'm sorry. Now I'm less of a fan of his now. That's not fair.
No, don't
fair to you.
Don't hold it against him.
You know, don't.
He's old school.
Don't knock my best friend trying to say
it's all good. It's okay.
Moving on.
Now I am happy. If you're a fan of the show, we tried recording this a week ago, this episode, but there was a lot of technical difficulties. I was in pain. We're in a weird headspace. There's glitches happening, and we just called it quits. And I feel good about this one. Hopefully this time things go smoother for us.
100%. No, we weren't at our toastiest, folks. So
no.
Please, I forgive us for not being posting the same day we normally do, but we're going to be back on it. This month might be a little jumbled around, but I promise you we're still delivering the toast. We're not breaking pace. We're going to get the same number of episodes out this month. So please watch your podcast channel, your apps and stuff. if you're watching the live stream, we will still be there. Thank you for joining us. At the very least, Adam, I am super excited. We've had a couple films stacked up for a minute. I have been eager to chat with you about. Oh man.
Now, last week it was going to be interesting. You were going to review a movie I did a few months ago, and I was going to review a movie that you did last year. And it was going to be fun, but I pushed one of those movies aside. But I'm still excited to kind of maybe talk to you about our first movie together. It's going to be, and then we have a brand new movie, and by brand new, 3 weeks ago, a brand new movie came out that we both saw that we're excited to talk about together.
Oh yes, sir.
Yes, sir. By now, you've probably heard a lot about it, but you haven't heard our take on it. So fuck everyone else's take.
We might have something else to say. God damn it. At least stick around a minute and listen. But I know we got some things to get you before that, though.
This is true.
Some polls.
Oh. That's right, folks. On the last episode, I reviewed the latest Matthew Vaughn movie, Argyle. It's all good. That was kind of fun. There was action-packed music happening there for a second. It felt like no, Toastbusters are at it again. So I wanted to know what the Toasty's favorite Matthew Vaughn movie was out of Layer Cake, Kick-Ass, X-Men First Class, Kingsman: The Secret Service. Dennis, what's your take on these movies? And any of these, the cream of the...
A lot of action.
I can't talk.
There we go. We're just scatting.
I'm just scatting.
Yeah. We got a incredible list of action films here, though, lined up in front of us. I will say, though, given our personal history, my favorite of these would be Kick-Ass. I remember reading those comics when they were coming out, and I fell in love with this idea of just a normal, average Joe sort of person deciding to step into the super costume and like be the thing he's been reading about all his life. Like it was such a great concept as a comic book, and it translated into that first film beautifully.
Perfectly. And let's not forget that this movie came out, I want to say, in between the first chunk of MCU movies. So superhero movies weren't super oversaturated at the time. It felt like the perfect time to get something like that out. And now apparently they're planning to reboot it. Seems kind of weird, but I'm down for more Kick-Ass.
Yeah, I wonder if some of the detail of the original story will be fleshed out a little bit more. Some of the gang background, seeing a little bit more Big Daddy's background. You
gotta love Big Daddy. Who do you get to replace Nick Cage as Big Daddy? I don't know. I can't think of someone better than Nick Cage.
First thing that jumps in my mind, oh my God, Mad Max, current Mad Max.
Chris Hemsworth?
No.
I'm sorry. He's in Furiosa. I just watched that trailer yesterday. My apologies.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking Bane. Fucking Tom Hardy.
Yes. Yeah. Hardy.
As Big Daddy? Huh.
Yep. Really, like
that'd be interesting.
We can see him doing the quiet stoic, but
that's true.
He still has like a heart of gold. You know, I could see him doing and his American accent's pretty good. So
fair enough.
I could buy it for long enough, till he gets killed. That
yeah, that's true.
I can see him just going down like a fucking badass. I don't know. That's the first thing. But I would love to see Nick Cage come back and do it again.
That'd be great. Yeah, it'd be awesome seeing him come back. Fuck yeah.
The reality of whether or not we're going to see all that cat, which it was casted so well. He
was pretty good.
Christopher Mintz-Plasse as the fucking the villain was so Red Mist. Jesus, that
was the dumbest fucking villain. But it worked. It worked perfectly.
Great. And with Mark Strong playing his dad.
Right? Yeah, I think so. Yep. And he's always menacing when he wants to be.
Oh, absolutely.
What a great cast.
No, he's great at being that for sure. But long story short, Kick-Ass would be.
I think I agree with you. I mean, don't get me wrong. Layer Cake, I haven't watched since it came out on VOD many years ago. First Class, loved it. Kingsman, fantastic, but Kick-Ass has that special spot in my heart as well. Let's find
Hell
out what the
yes.
Toasties thought. Unfortunately, the Toasties have spoken, and they say 0% for Kick-Ass and 0% for Kingsman: The Secret Service.
Come on, guys.
So,
Oh.
yeah.
Well, fair enough. That's what you had to say, though. I'm not going to knock it.
Hey,
I mean, I am.
At least they responded
right
to the poll. You
But
guys,
yes.
come on. They're showing love for Layer Cake, 20%. I thought Layer Cake would have been one of the zeros if anything got 0. But predecessor to fucking Daniel Craig being James Bond, that was the first actiony. I don't know. I just don't know. Dennis, guess what? I don't know. Did you see Layer Cake? Have you?
I remember seeing scenes of it. I don't think I've actually seen the whole movie, to be honest. Funny enough,
I did, and I don't remember it, sadly.
I was eating lunch earlier today. I threw on Pluto just to one of the movie channels for background noise, and Defiance came on, and it's
good
Craig
one.
and Leif Schreiber, and it's like, oh my god, this was sitting on my Netflix queue for so long, and then I buried it, never watched it, and I couldn't get my eyes off the screen for about 20 minutes. I was just, oh fuck, this is totally the type of movie for me. I'm bummed I haven't seen it up until now, but another Daniel Craig film has nothing to do with Matthew Vaughn, but
but still definitely worth checking out, I bet.
I guess snaps back in with the X-Men reference.
Who doesn't like a good Sabretooth Ray Donovan mixture? Speaking of Sabretooth, that leaves 80% for X-Men First Class.
There we go.
Which doesn't fully surprise me. That's the bigger name of these movies. Everyone knows an X-Man. Speaking of which, how do you feel about all these fanboys online complaining about not having over-sexualized X-Men and X-Men 97? What is I feel like it's ridiculous. These people need to grow up.
It really is. I'll be honest, maybe if you really need that, go back and rewatch the original series. Funny enough, I rewatched the opening sequence a couple nights ago just to cut as a refresher. Oh, Adam will be back with us shortly. And I just remember thinking to myself, it's like, wow, thank you, X-Men, for giving me a lot of the fucking predilections that I think I'm susceptible to now. But it's not what it's about. That was obviously for certain aspects of the audience, but it's not like it has anything to do with the story. Just give me the characters we want to see in this era. Actually, I was at the Lego store the other day, and they had the Blackbird. They had the X-Men's jet from X-Men 97. I gotta say, I'm a fanboy for all of that shit. I love seeing all of the Lego sets and the t-shirts and stuff already coming out for the series. Is it overhyping it? Are we priming an audience, specifically us, that are willing to come back and rewatch these things? Of course. But if at the very least we can just be reminded of the thing we enjoyed, that the show that we did like as a kid. As far as me and seeing another fan on the street, if you're wearing the shirt or you do it, whatever, that's cool. I appreciate that. That would be fun. It's like good taste. You shared that memory too. I'm all about that business. I'm looking forward to more of that sort of interaction. X-Men 97. We'll see where it lands, I guess, but I'm concerned with the story because I was always sucked into the story as a child, and going back to rewatch it on Disney Plus, which is available there right now, the entire X-Men animated series. It was so good. Like, it still stands up, and the bench was deep on the heroes and the villains. Like, they were calling out things that the major studios can't vaguely reference because it would take too much time or be too expensive or whatever the fuck it is now these days. Or it's just not worth investing in casting someone to play this person, knowing the fanboys are just going to freak out and assign all of these things to these existing characters. I get it. But this series was so good at doing it. We've seen with What If and some of the other Disney Plus series, the ones that they got to be a little looser on, in my opinion, the ones that got to be a little more fun, I was much more on board for that. I got a little tired when everything was taking itself way too seriously. I loved Loki, but I also liked She-Hulk. I got to be honest. Enjoying these stories, enjoying these things should be fun. It shouldn't be something that is so By the book. This is not biblical scripture, okay, folks? Not that I subscribe to that sort of train of thought, but I get it's there. There should be reverence to certain things. This isn't that. I'm the same way with Star Wars at this point. Star Wars is not this thing that is only the one timeline, through line, whatever. There's all these little branching things. We've had all these experiences individually. It's what you take away from the stories. Art being in the eye of the beholder and all that business. Like we need to remember that once in a while before we get too bent out of shape for some stuff. You're allowed to have your taste, but at the end of the day, the quality of the story being told to you, the artwork presented in front of you, that's what you should be judging. And that's what we're going to touch on later in this episode. When Adam gets back, we will be giving our review of Madam Web, and we're going to give our honest response to what was laid out before us. We've seen so many superhero films. We've seen so many things, especially in the Spider-Man universe. It's like, why would you single out this particular storyline? I think this character is worth talking about. This is a world, this corner of the world is worth talking about. Whether or not this is the way it should be done, I don't know. You'll just have to wait and see. Until then, though, I believe we had a guest speaker on earlier that might have been discussing this before. But if you are not aware, we also have a short film festival. That's right. Movie Toast the Festival is every December. We've done 4 years now, incredibly enough. I can't believe it's happened this many times now. But we're getting to the I'm sorry. No, we'll have to excuse me, strike that. We are getting to the 4th year of Movie Toast the Festival. That's right, folks. This is going to be the 4th time we're doing it. I can't believe it has been going so big already. The volume of submissions that we've had so early this year makes me so excited that we're going to have such a great show, because the same with last year. We had so many submissions. The volume was so high that it was getting so hard. It got really hard to whittle down who was worth keeping in the show, because there were so many good things. We're not trying to make it this overly long multi-day event. I mean, hey, someday that might be the case, actually. Break it up according to category and whatnot. But please, folks, keep submitting. We've already got some great material so far that it will be really fun to share with the audience. But this December, we're going to have another great show. Great time last year. Will be a good time again this year. I think the man is back.
Maybe. We'll see. For how long? Time will tell. Sorry about that, folks. There's more technical difficulties than anticipated, so I downloaded a whole new... It doesn't fucking matter. Dennis,
we're here.
Sorry, you were saying something about X-Men, the animated series before I left. That's not what people call it, but that's what I'm calling it.
That's what I have referred to it as well. No, I was saying, okay, the original series might have given me certain predilections for taste later in life that I didn't realize might have been contributed to things like this. But it has nothing to do with the story. It has nothing to do with character development. There's no... If you want a thirst trap, go online and find all the AI generated bullshit.
They're there.
Never ask for it. It exists.
Right.
This is not the place for that. I want the incredible storytelling that we had from the original series, which again, like I mentioned once you bounced out, the storytelling is really why you keep coming back. The bench was so deep on all the characters that they had to call upon, villains, heroes, whatever it was. Sometimes they walk the line between. It was so good.
Yeah.
That's what you're showing up for. Don't give me that.
Right.
Like that is the obnoxious male gaze bullshit that I'm just like, okay, yes, that's valid. Fuck the idiots for ruining things that should just 100% be enjoyable for the rest of us.
And let's not forget, this is a kids television show. It was on Fox Kids when it was coming out. It's not aimed for fucking horny adults. Come on, people. When I was a kid, I was like, oh shit, someone's ass, someone's tits. I was like, oh cool, Spider-Man's here. Oh shit, there's fucking Punisher.
Exactly.
Oh, they're crossing over. Yeah, fuck it, man. I was having fun, not trying to get... I don't know. Maybe I was the wrong age.
I wasn't sitting there.
I don't think that's what people were talking about.
She's not a D cup. She's not a D cup. get the fuck out
Yeah.
of here. That's not the point of the fucking show. Jesus Christ.
Mhm.
That's obnoxious bullshit. I just give me that incredible storytelling.
100%.
I was telling the Toasties before you joined us back. I may have breezed through the Lego store when I was going to get my new work boots, and there was a X-Men 97, like the Blackbird. The
That's
X-Men
pretty cool.
jet was already a
The
Lego
jet,
set.
yeah.
Which, what I thought was interesting though, is they gave you a Magneto figurine with the rest of the heroes, but he was helmetless. So they're going off the very end of the series. Is he going to be a good guy like a bulk of the run?
Maybe.
I'm kind of curious.
That'd be interesting. God, I forget. I'm like, I gotta go back and watch it, but there's so many episodes. Because wasn't there a point where they fucking went back to prehistoric days? Like, so much shit happened on that show, man. And it was only what, like 4 seasons? But boy, oh boy, were they
4
great.
seasons, but it's like 20 some episodes per at least.
Mm-hmm.
They were
at least 100
long
episodes,
seasons.
80 to 100.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited.
You know,
What, I think the end of the month, the X-Men 97 comes out?
I believe you're right, because then we get one of the Star Wars series coming out here.
Wouldn't be
now that
shocked.
Bad Batch is winding down.
Skeleton Crew? Is that the next one coming out? Or?
Yeah.
Right.
Skeleton Crew.
Fair enough. All right. Well, anywho, on our last episode, 183, I reviewed the latest Diablo Cody written movie, Lisa Frankenstein. So I wanted to know which Diablo Cody written film the Toasties liked the most out of Jennifer's Body, Young Adult, Tully, and Juno. I feel like I know where you lean, Dennis. But Jennifer's Body? Now you're like, I'm about those boobs.
I was thinking, I feel a little guilty coming off the last thing, but that's the tone of Jennifer's Body, right?
Yeah.
Like this is.
It's funny. The other night I went back and I watched the first act. I'm like, wow, I forgot all of this shit. Chris Pratt's in it. Fucking so many people. I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
There's a lot of build. Like they do a good job of building out the world. I will say, for me personally, it is Jennifer's Body. I will recognize I think the best written script probably is Juno.
Yeah,
but I watch Jennifer's Body way more often than
That's funny. I watched Juno the most. I feel like that's funny. What's that say about me?
Sense.
I don't know. I have no clue. But you know what? Let's find out.
Writing and incredible storytelling. You like premium filmmaking, and it's like, come on.
I like pretty shitty movies that people don't like, so I don't know about that. Anywho, let's find out what the Toasties thought. Is 0% for Tully, 7.7% for Juno, and 7.7% for Young Adult. So I'm in a very small minority. That leads 4.6% for Jennifer Body. So you're right. Now, here we go again. Talk about a Jennifer's Body reboot. How do you feel about that? Diablo Cody's been floating that one around.
Nope. I don't like
sequel?
Unless either it's a sequel or a prequel. That I could get on board with. If we establish more of the curse. Like
to learn what happened before, how the band became like encased with the vampire blood. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot you can do.
If they were so convinced that this was worth actually killing someone over, they must have seen, the success, right? Someone else should have told them whatever, or whether it's Satan himself. I don't, or whatever the deal is. I would like to see the world expanded, because they did kind of offer that within the movie, like the snapshots and the closing credits of seeing her go to the hotel room and fucking slaughter the band and all that shit. I like the idea of more of that sort of concept. How do we build upon what's happened? But don't remake this.
Fair enough.
It's its own wonderful gem that should exist in the time period that it does.
Fair enough. Speaking about time periods, Dennis, I feel like your first movie is set in a pretty interesting time period.
That it is. It is many would argue, the golden age of rock and roll, especially one of the most famous musical artists in American history, Elvis Presley. But this is a story not told from his perspective, but that of his first wife, a Miss Priscilla Presley. A little film titled Priscilla. So this was a Canadian-made film telling the story of the initial romance that swept between Priscilla and Elvis, and how they met in East Germany while he was stationed there in the army, and their commitment to each other. And although he was still a huge rock star, of course, a change started to happen. His taste, his music started to go a certain direction. His taste in world views and things started to shift. And they were there for each other in a very pivotal part of each other's lives. Mind you, it's where it gets a little hairy these days. It is a 10-year
Oh
age
boy.
gap.
Yeah, that was kind of creepy.
Priscilla being 14 years old when they first met, and she's like clearly head over heels for him, and he obviously is like really into her. And I thought it was kind of funny how the movie is like, oh, but we didn't do anything until Priscilla was 18.
Bullshit.
I'm like, oh, okay. We just don't want to say bad things about Elvis. I get it, but let's be honest. That's what was going on. Setting that aside, like I even tried to talk to this to other people about this movie. It's like, well, those are the times, man. That's just how things did. I'm like, yeah, but even then they knew it wasn't okay.
Yeah, even the parents were like trying to warn her, but then they let her move in with them in Graceland. It's like, come on.
Well, I guess it's Elvis Presley, so
that's terrible parenting.
It's an interesting perspective in this, like, getting lulled into this incredibly beautiful world of wealth, fame, attention, having anything you could ask for at your fingertips, but at the same time being regulated to living within a single house. And you can't even like freely walk around the house. There's rooms you're not allowed into. You can't walk up to the fence at the front driveway because paparazzi
can't play with your brand new puppy outside. You can't get a job. Everything you do has to be cleared with Elvis and his family.
I don't want you to be doing that.
So crazy.
You're not working. You just got to be there waiting for me while he's fucking movie stars in Hollywood. And oh god, I already knew Elvis's story was fucked up. He's an incredible music genius, as we've seen throughout history. That seems to happen. The tortured geniuses create incredible art, right? That seems to be the correlating through line in a lot of the biggest of any movie star, music star, whatever the field is. This was a dark journey. Like it's beautiful at the same time. It was shot very well. I thought it was
100%.
rather well performed too. The actor Jacob Elordi.
Elordi, yeah.
He did a great job of playing this younger Elvis that I feel like he also started to look too young by the end of the movie. He didn't quite look like the Vegas Elvis. Haley Spaney.
They didn't Austin Butler him up.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to talk like this for every interview, baby. Kaylee Spaney did a great job.
I mean, the woman playing Priscilla, she was like, it was interesting watching her transformation. Like he created the way she looked, which was crazy. Like she had a dye her hair this color, wear this type of clothing, so controlling. It was crazy. She couldn't even be herself.
The way the story was told, the way the story was told, it started with the drugs. Once you kind of numbed her down, now she was like way more susceptible to a lot of that molding. Yeah, like you said, the darker hair, the fewer patterns in her clothing. I remember before watching this movie, I was seeing on Old School Cool subreddit people posting photos of like their wedding day. She looks so sad. Like there's so many photos of them together where she just looks worn out
of it.
He's clearly trying to maintain like the Elvis persona, but it's like, what's your job? It turns out nothing. You don't get to like speak up for anything. So it's incredible. She then went back and took over the rights to Graceland. She's the one that turned it into the museum. She's the one that kind of preserved this image of Elvis, which, I mean, hats off to her. I mean, she's executive producer in the film we were talking about right now. It's an incredible story. I think it's really something to consider in these sort of contexts. We want to brush off a lot of these people. Either are they victims? Are they not victims because they participated? Well, No, they are fucking. That's a victim. Like this is
100%.
plain as day. Like let's not kid ourselves. We can try to pretend
Mhm.
people are gonna make decisions, but this is a whole situation where, god damn.
Like at the end, you're rooting for her to leave him, and it's like this is fucking weird. But
Yes.
you want her to
yeah.
better herself, and
I
like
had to
she
finally
just
look up,
seems like a
like-
prisoner.
Yep. By the
Like,
end of the
he's
movie, I had to
having
finally look up,
fun.
like, how long did their marriage last? It was only 6 years, but
Wow.
that 6-year mark started when she was 18. So
True.
from 14, so that's a decade of them being together, quote unquote, when she was the only one invested in that relationship, it seems. As much as he seemed to be, he still would respond to his own urges. But it's an interesting story. I like the perspective it offered. It was shot well. I think it was performed pretty well. It got a little slow at times. You had these beats where this movie stretched out for a long time. I mean, it's a little over 2 hours. Yeah, about 2 hours runtime. It felt like 2 hours runtime for sure.
100%.
I'm going to give Priscilla 2.5 slices of toast. It's available on Max right now. It's a decent watch. If you're invested in this world, this story, I think it's worth watching. I would say just don't expect it to be something that just completely blows your mind or like changes your opinion on something. It's kind of reaffirming what you already thought, but still interesting story. Don't regret it in the slightest. I think if it felt like the sets and the scenes were a little larger, if we got like 1 or 2 more shots where he was on stage in an arena, and I get it, the budget is not that sort of movie. But
No, it was a smaller movie.
The scope. I wanted to feel the scope of the reach of the Presley name, you know, and I don't think we ever quite reached that. Close.
No. Like, it's weird. I feel like nothing happened in the movie, but a lot happened at the same time. Like, it was sad, but somehow enjoyable because it was made so well. But I don't know. It's a movie I don't think I'd watch again. But you said, I don't regret watching it. Yeah. Interesting.
Like, how long does it take you to break down a human being's personality to remold them into something you think you want? And then once you've made it, you're like bored with it. That's not exciting anymore. And it's so
fucked
sad
up.
to see the other side of it, to see the one that said, yes, I will do all of those things. And God, yeah. It's rough, dark documentary, I guess. I will say
fair enough.
There's a couple scenes that get, if you're susceptible to the discussion of marital abuse, there's a couple scenes that get a little rough along those lines that will put you right into that moment. So I guess a little word of warning. If you haven't seen it yet, that will come up. No mean to put a downer on the rest of it. I still think the experience is worth witnessing, but not the finest, not the most incredible film I've seen. I feel like, especially with all these
100%.
offerings we have lately. And we got another King of Pop film coming down the pipeline in the next few years. So,
oh boy. I'm going to switch things up a little bit, maybe widen the variety. It's not as dour, my film. I have the latest movie from one half of the Coen brothers, Mr. Ethan Coen's latest movie, Drive Away Dolls. So this movie is it's a period piece. I want to say some point in the 60s, maybe 70s. There's these two girls, two women who want to take a road trip. They're kind of mismatched. They're both lesbians. One's kind of open and wild and free. The other one's very conservative, very by the book, doesn't like to if there's a plan in place, you got to stick by it. And the wild one is like trying to set her off and trying to get her laid, trying to open her up a bit. And she's not really for that, the other one. So anyways, these girls decide to take part in a drive away experience where you go to a local kind of car rental place where people want to ship a car across the country or whatnot. You tell them where you're going, you pick up the car and you drive it there. And there's a car that needs to get to, I want to say, Tallahassee, Florida by the next day that they get. And that's close to where they want to go. So they get the car and they find out that there's like a briefcase in the car, and it has something in it. It's kind of treated like the briefcase in, I want to say, Pulp Fiction. They open it and you never see what's in it, but you can tell they're intrigued by what's in it. And there's these like hitmen type guys who are after them because they want to retrieve the case and make sure it gets to the right place. And it seems sinister. People are getting hurt. They're getting tracked down. It's a comedy. God, let me read you the description that they have on online. In search of a fresh start, two women embark on an impromptu road trip to Tallahassee, Florida. However, things quickly go awry when they cross paths with a group of inept criminals along the way. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying here. Okay. And it has what I really liked about it. I like the leads. It's a Margot Qualley and Geraldine Viswanathan. I know if you hear the names, you're like, who the fuck are they? But if you saw their faces, you'd be like, oh, those girls. They're pretty talented. Okay. They're cool. Okay. But I don't know. Like Margot Qualley is the wild one. She's a little too wild, a little over the top. She has this weird kind of southern drawl. It's not working for me. I think it feels forced. The other woman, I'm like, I believe her character a little bit more. And then you got two hitmen, or not hitmen, but these two goons that are tracing them down. And they kind of have a similar vibe. Like one's kind of a people person. The other person's more action oriented. And it's just watching these girls get hunted and they get in all these sticky situations. And you want to know what the MacGuffin is. You want to know what they're fucking kind of driving with, because you don't know. It could be anything. And then at one point you see a billboard with a very famous actor on it. He plays like a senator running for like a very high government position. You're like, all right, he's entangled in this somehow. And and then once you find out what it is, it's like, oh, that's fucking weird, but interesting. I guess I never would have thought that would have been what's in there, but okay, cool. Okay. All right. Okay. No judgment. I really wanted to love this movie because it looks sleek and it has the vibe of like a 60s, 70s style movie, but it just feels so stale and nothing really seems to happen. And like, there's a lot of like psychedelic, like transitions in the movie that go on for like a good, like 30 seconds to a minute. And it's like, what are you buying time? And this movie isn't even an hour and a half. It's an hour and 24 minutes, and it felt like eternity. I was unfortunately not having it with this movie. I felt like the actors were great, the cinematography was great, but I feel like the script was lacking something. It wasn't really well directed for one half of the Coen brothers to do this. I'm like, I don't see it. I don't understand it. It's based on a play or a short story, and I don't know if they were just making it super literal, but it just didn't translate well for me. Yeah. I'm going to give Driveway Dolls 1.5 slices of toast. It's currently in theaters. It has funny moments, but I feel like it tries too hard, and that kind of wasn't good enough for me, I think.
Damn. Well, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to that one too. The vibe, like you said, that sort of like 60s or 70s like car movie. Yeah. I love those. Mm-hmm. So I was kind of, and
that's why I'm like, you got a great director, you got some good talent, and what could go wrong? Like, I've been looking forward to this movie since I saw the trailer, because the trailer alone looks so zany and wacky. I was so on board. And it's like, all right, it is zany and wacky, but lacks story, in my opinion. Yeah.
Oh, man, that's too bad.
Yeah. Damn. But I will say, I like the artwork. The artwork's kind of cool for it. The trailer's really cool, but you see the trailer, you've seen the film pretty much. But you don't know what the MacGuffin is, I guess. So that's one reason to watch, I guess.
Fair enough.
Up next, I have something slightly different. I have the new Adam Sandler Netflix movie, Spaceman.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I luckily got to see this on the big screen the other night, and I was kind of excited to see it because it's something a little more serious, not a wacky, over-the-top Adam Sandler performance. Sure. It's about a Czech astronaut who is on the outskirts of Jupiter on a 9-month mission, a one-man mission, and we find out that maybe his marriage is in shambles. His wife is pregnant, and he's on a mission while she's pregnant. He can talk to her. He has like a way to talk to her, but she's not responding to any of his messages. And we find out that she's calling it quits. She's breaking up with him. She shot a very heartfelt message telling him this, but the government agency refuses to show him. He's wondering what the hell's going on with his wife. He's very concerned. And as all this is happening, he's starting to lose his mind. He's not able to sleep. And he starts to see a giant spider that talks to him, voiced by Paul Dano. And it's kind of asking him personal questions, infiltrating his mind, making him think of all these terrible things that have happened with him and his wife, good things that have happened with him and his wife. And it just starts eating away to him. And at first, he's kind of opposed to this spider, but then he kind of befriends the spider because it's the only thing there with him. And it's just kind of a story about struggling and kind of loneliness. And it's really beautiful. It's dark. It feels lived in. You don't know when this movie takes place.
Nice.
And it's just very visually pleasing. And it's interesting because Adam Sandler gets to kind of wear his comfortable clothes. He has fucking basketball shorts on most of the movie. And Carrie Mulligan is his wife. She's given a great performance. And there's one monologue that Adam Sandler has in this movie that like I came to tears. Like he gave a phenomenal fucking like speech in this movie.
Fuck yeah.
Overall, at first I thought, oh man, this movie is getting bad reviews. Hopefully I'm wrong. And the first act was a little slow and I'm like, I don't know, maybe they're right. And then it slowly won me over as it went on. And I really had a good time watching it. It's very unique because, like I said, you don't know when it takes place. It feels like it should be back in the day, but there's like technology that you would never have back in the day, of course. And it's just really cool. Like he has one person that he talks to at his mission control, and that's the guy that plays Raj on the Big Bang Theory. He's kind of there helping him, like talk him down, keep him kind of cool under pressure. And yeah, it's just a really interesting watch. Like nothing that you would expect from an Adam Sandler movie. It's not an uncut gems. It's not over the top crazy action. Okay. It's more of a confined set piece, which is nice.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. And I think it's written and directed by a guy that worked on that show Chernobyl a couple of years ago on Max.
Fuck yes, that was
so it kind of has that vibe a little bit.
It's no, more than it's like 5 years ago at least. It's crazy.
God, yeah. Probably right around COVID-ish times, I think. Or even before
as soon as that started to kick off was when they were talking about that show getting Emmys. No, what's funny is like I remember watching the trailer for this one and thinking like, oh, is this movie going to be about whether he thinks this spider exists or not? Like, is this a whole? Is it played in his mind? Which
that kind of happens in it because there's cameras set up throughout the ship, but they establish that the cameras have been going down and whatnot. And at one point, he does have someone look at a camera and they don't see the spider. So it's like, okay, clearly maybe the spider isn't there, but you want to believe it's there because you don't want to see him lose his mind. But you can just tell this guy has gone through hell. Like he isn't really. Yeah, I
couldn't imagine being 9 months away from my wife in a fucking tube in space.
Yeah,
you know, like,
and she's pregnant, and as he was like in training to like do all this, I think she was pregnant and had a miscarriage, and he couldn't go home to see her, and that caused more fights. And then now she's pregnant again, and he's gone, and. At first, he thinks he did nothing wrong, and now he realizes maybe I did fuck up. And she wants to get out of this relationship because she doesn't think it's worth it. And they show their beginning of the relationship and how much in love they were, how great and strong their relationship was. But work slowly started getting in the way of that, and he didn't want to compromise it. She thought it was unfair. He thought it was unfair that she thought it's messy, man. And in a beautiful way, kind of.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say I hate to say it, but that's awesome. You know, like that's what I want to dig into. That sounds great. I'm there.
And I'm
curious now. Oh, sorry, I don't want to cut you off.
Oh no. And Paul Dano's voice as the spider. It's just so lulling and peaceful and calm. It's
He's
like
got a great voice.
Fantastic for this character. Not worth cutting off whatever you were saying. My apologies.
No. It was. My next question was, I'm quite curious. Well, what's your slice here?
I'm gonna give Spaceman 2.5 slices of toast. It's a
Okay,
fine
okay.
film. Not the
It's
best,
worth
not
a
the
view.
worst, but there's good performances. Cinematography is rich. The soundtrack is kind of nice. It has a lot going for it, I think.
Nice. And yeah, definitely you got to dip your toe in and see what's going on. I'm
Yeah.
very much into it. That's very much. I mean, shit. We might watch it tonight, actually, before we get to bed.
I'd love to hear what you think, because like I said, other people aren't really liking it as much as I am. So I want to know if you think it's good or bad. It'd be interesting to hear.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But we got something that a lot of people are talking about the past couple of weeks, Dennis, that we're going to tag team.
Oh man, you know I'm a big fan of the Spider-Verse stuff, and I'm all about the Spider-Man. This is a slightly different story, though. A side character, which I remember reading comics as a kid, that she scared the shit out of me because she was kind of a scary old witch hag lady, not Dakota Johnson, but Madam Web. Madam Web is the film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is
where do we begin?
Right? I don't even want to use the frame of reference of what I have for the character. It's more about, based on everything we've watched, where does this fit in? The answer is nowhere. We're injecting something after the fact, and we got to pretend like all of these things just must have existed in the background. We just didn't get to see it, I guess. But it takes place in 2003.
For no fucking reason. If you're going to do this, maybe make it lead into the Tom Holland Spider-Man. But it doesn't, that we know of.
It kind of did. They couldn't say.
All you got to do was add that Aunt May there, add a little Marissa Tomei action. You hint at the character. That's all you needed, and it would have connected, I think.
They did. I think Sony did the closest they could without having to cast those same people. So they tried to establish Ben Parker's background. He served overseas,
which is nice.
I used to be a paramedic.
Think that's my favorite part, having him as a character, because he's always dead by the time we get to know him. And now we're seeing a young, vibrant. Yeah, and I love Adam Scott.
I'm sorry. I like this idea of like, oh, he's kind of used to art. He's already used to some crazy shit. He's used to living on this edge, like in his personal life and in his professional life. Like everything is a high intensity sort of value. And Dakota Johnson, I think, delivered that. She was this paramedic that, like, I don't think every aspect of her personality necessarily made sense, but
well, she was an orphan, Dennis. Come on.
What do I do with this?
That forgives.
What do I do with this? What do I do with this? I remember that scene. I was just like, really?
So, all right, let's set up here. Her mom, we start the movie out with her mother is pregnant in like a jungle, looking for a rare spider that can cure cancer.
Part of the movie. The coolest fucking part of the movie. Easily.
And guess what, folks? Her bodyguard, because you need a bodyguard in the fucking middle of nowhere who's there to protect her, is really trying to get the spider for him because it can give him immortality and powers of a spider, aka he can become a Spider-Man. Doesn't exist in this world, so who cares? And he kills the mother. Before the mother dies, she's bitten by the spider, so maybe that's how Cassie, her daughter, gets the powers. Is the daughter Cassie? I don't fucking know what her name is.
Cassandra.
Okay. And Cassandra grows up. We pick up, 20 years later, 20-something years later. She has no powers, doesn't get powers until she drowns and dies? And is resuscitated?
Yeah.
Is that how she got the powers, or was it the spider bite? I don't fucking know.
That was my problem too. I hated this. Like, so why did it take to this point? Because clearly she's been in perilous situations before. Why did it take this moment? And then, fuck, I don't know. I'm with you, dude. I'm with you up to this point.
And fucking, we're sold in the trailer. She's kind of like this mother figure to 3 ladies who are becoming Spider Women's themselves. And we see a lot of art of them in the trailer. And they're not really characters in the movie. The girls are characters. So essentially that bodyguard now is hunting down 3 girls who will eventually one day try to kill him. So he wants to kill them before they become powerful girls. So there's this man trying to kill girls, and our girl, fucking Cassie, gets these premonitions, these fucking Final Destination style premonitions, and decides, oh, wow, I'm going to save these girls. And of course, that doesn't go easy because a lot happens. And by a lot, I mean, nothing really happens, but she tries to help them.
3/4 of the movie not understanding how her powers even work, which I thought was hilarious. She even goes to fucking Chile. She goes to the place and she's like, she still doesn't get it. I will say, I would highlight a couple of my favorite parts would be when we see the potential future. Every time we see what's his name come and just kill everyone, that was always shocking because I was surprised how far they took the violence. The other thing being,
it was there.
The ambulance flying through the fucking billboard and hitting him. I laughed out loud so hard, but I loved it. Like I was just like, yes, that is how you use those powers. Like this is how you do it.
Yes,
she saw all. It's like the Doctor Strange shit. You see all the possible
outcomes,
and you go for that fucking one. They're just like, nope, I gotta commit because I saw I won't die if I do this. Yeah, and then the natives, the Arachna whatever people, their suits
they were cool.
Cool. Like the red clay on their skin, and then the vine wrapped around them. Like they looked like a clan of carnages. And
I want more of those guys.
Had clubs. One guy had an axe. He had another lady that had fucking spears. Like, and it was like, why were they always these flashing little events? I want to see them fight something. Like that was a fight scene we totally got to miss out on. The entire movie to me felt like you're missing out on the cooler part just to see this dumb fucking part. I'm gonna watch Sydney Sweeney try to be everyone's friend for about an hour and a half.
She's like the nerdy girl. Cindy throw some glasses on her and put her in a schoolgirl outfit, and she's a nerd. I'm not buying it. Fucking,
I'm sorry.
Come on, guys.
All these like 20-something-year-olds trying to play 16. If anything, it just made me feel uncomfortable because I was just like, oh my god,
it was odd.
This is not okay.
And like the villain, his evil Spider-Man outfit, I really liked it most of the time, but there was no consistency. Sometimes it looked badass, other times it looked super CG, other times it looked like he was wearing pajamas, and I just didn't know what to make of it.
His dialogue was trash.
And did even when he wasn't in the suit, did it the whole movie, he sounded to me like he was 80 yard. It did not sound good. Like it just sounded super crisp and like clear. And I'm like, this isn't coming out of his mouth. I'm not buying it.
Him standing in the jungle 30 years ago sounded the same as him standing in the suit on the rooftop of some fucking Chicago building. Like, there was no difference to the sound quality of anything. There was no difference to the visual quality of anything. Why did we have to spend almost 10 minutes with letting a bird into our apartment? You know, like, it's when I want to, I love Spider-Man stuff. I hate to say, I have to kind of agree. All of the other Spider-Man villain movies we've been offered so far were better than this. I at least could walk away with fragments of something that I was just like, at least this was fun. At least this looked badass. At least I felt like, okay, you reached out for something, but this just didn't. It's like they didn't.
And I feel like, and I feel like the acting was kind of subpar. I feel like fucking Dakota Johnson didn't want to be there. And then, I don't know. Adam Scott was doing the best he could, I feel like.
Right. They only had him for a week. We'll shoot him out. Dakota Johnson,
I will say,
get you for 6 hours a day. So let's be dainty with
the one person who kind of played against type, who I was really blown away by, was Mike Epps playing a straight man. He was pretty good, I thought. I was shocked.
He was a cool fireman or paramedic.
Yeah.
Sorry, emergent. Like, what's that? The ambulance assigned to the fire department.
Yeah, like
thing.
I don't know what you call
I like
him,
that too.
EMT? No. Like he was pretty good. And then we meet Peter Parker's mom, played by fucking Nancy Drew, fucking Emma Roberts. I'm like, that seems odd.
4 minutes of the movie. Like, it totally feels like a forced, okay, we're going to use Emma Roberts again later for something. I'm like, you're never going to get that funding for that movie, homie. That's not happening. Not after this.
And the CG CG looked worse than fucking Sam Raimi Spider-Man. It looked so bad for 2024. I know CG artists are getting kind of bad rep because they don't have enough time to work on movies, but
that's
for
not
a
on
big
them.
budget
That's on the
superhero
studio.
movie.
That's on the time
yeah.
restraint set by exactly. Like it's,
Yeah.
This is like, all right, guys, if you wanted this to do better, you should have spent time in the right places. Another thing to me was although it's like a globe spanning movie, time and space, it still feels very isolated. We're only like, we keep coming back to the same handful of locations. Even when we get later into the movie, we literally come back to the same place. This is where you were born, whatever. I'm just like, you're showing us the same sets like 3, 4, 5 times.
When the girls, spoiler alert, there's a scene where she brings the girls to the middle of nowhere for safety to hide for hours on end.
Oh God, yeah.
The woods that they're hiding in looks just like the woods where her mother was killed. Could you not get a different looking location? I don't know.
We kicked up the green, kicked down the yellow. God. It's not the jungle. It's the East Coast, baby.
I feel like there was a lot of weird camera movements in this movie. I don't know if it was just me thinking that.
I think some of that. No, I think some of that was to try to hide seams of things. You know, like trying to hide the fact that they were transitioning from one set piece to another. Going to the diner, I feel like the neon was kicked up a crazy amount. Like, there's no way this diner exists in real life. I doubt that. And the whole let's be quiet. We're gonna dance on the table.
Oh God. Fuck that.
So many things. I'm like, okay, there's no way one of you was just going to be like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
One of them should have been like, nope, you're all done. This is stupid.
Now, let's say here. All right. So you have two possible outcomes that you kind of set up. A, you have a superhero movie where your main character is like a Final Destination type person. That sounds like a fun movie. You have a superhero movie where you get 3 hot girls kicking ass dressed like spiders. That could be pretty cool. Why do we get none of that in this movie? We got the lamest possible version. Yeah.
Yes.
We got something in the middle. And then you lead it off as, oh shit, we got to see the sequel to see that come to fruition. But nobody's going to sit through the sequel. I didn't even want to finish watching this movie. I was so fucking bored. I saw this IMAX on a big fucking screen. And there was no need for IMAX for this movie, but I thought maybe it would work good. Oh God!
No,
all the product placement.
Sponsored by Pepsi.
Code Red Mountain Dew out of a vending machine.
Old school Code Red can.
I did like seeing the old school Pepsi can, but I just felt like we were watching a fucking scene from Wayne's World.
Oh my God! Yes.
Sorry, I keep cutting you off.
Garth and all the Reebok kicking back. No, this was. I so wanted to enjoy it. I wanted, like we were teasing earlier. I wanted to come into this be like, fuck what everyone else says. I still just have fun watching some spider shit. We don't even get the spider shit. We don't even like the most basic things I think we should see in a movie that comes from this universe. It can't offer. Why did we greenlight this? Why did we say this is okay? I just don't understand. And then the little bit we do see them in their uniform, like their costumes, when they're their future characters. We don't even tease how they get their powers. We don't even. It's just
I was waiting. I'm like, that's the third act. That's the third act. I'm so excited to see how these girls get the powers. And then, I'm sorry, when they do have the powers, they make no sense. One can shoot fireballs. The other one has 4 legs. I'm like, what is this?
Admittedly, I'm pretty sure I follow Sydney Sweeney on Instagram. I think she posted something along the lines of like, they shot out all of that stuff in like a week. So
I believe it.
You know, they didn't even understand the context of what they were doing, right? Like,
oh yeah.
How
just so you're going to do this?
Hold your hand out. Reach out. There you go. There's going to be fucking energy ball shit flying off your hands. Just go with it. And even then, the looks in their faces were just like, I was told to do this. And like, I know all of you can do better than that. Fucking Dora the Explorer can do better than that.
Yeah. She's a great actress.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, you're just a nerdy, like, science person. And okay, none of the characters had personalities. Like
No.
they were just there,
not deep
taking
enough.
up space.
It was like they tried to give them a few little things, but it's like, do we spread it too thin? Do we add too much? I mean, like, again, I go back to my impression of who Madame Web is supposed to be. She's this crinkly old lady hanging from a spider web that is blind with like bandages around her eyes, and she's seeing centuries into the future. Like, it's this terrifying, like, she's telling Peter Parker, dude, you're gonna die, your kids are gonna die, your wife's gonna die, and like, well, yeah, duh, everyone's gonna die. It's like, no. I mean, they're really gonna die.
And spoiler alert, when she does become the Madam Web that we know, the look of Madam Web that we know, it was laughable. It's like, really? This is what we're getting? What was that shit?
I couldn't see it. Oh, this is like, I just give her the like somebody. I remember when we were walking out of the movie theater. It's like her little Professor Xavier wheelchair, and we're just gonna like cover her eyes a little bit. And like, no, this isn't it.
I'm sorry.
This isn't it.
After she died and went home to relax, was she watching A Miracle on 34th Street or a Christmas movie in the middle of what seems to be not the winter?
Yeah. Fuck.
What?
Oh my god! Why can't I think? It's not Miracle on 34th Street. It's,
no. Sorry. The one where the guy's like, what would it be like if I died?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ!
Wow.
This is a movie review podcast, folks. Don't worry.
Yeah. Fuck us. It doesn't matter. But why was she watching a Christmas movie when there's no Christmas besides that one movie? Is that comfort? I don't know. That just seems so fucking weird to me. Oh man, It's a Wonderful Life, I think, is the movie we're talking about, Dennis.
Yes. Yeah. It's a Wonderful Life.
And I feel so bad tearing this movie apart.
Me too.
Like,
because I
wanted to like it. I wanted a shred.
This.
I had fun watching Venom more than this. And I'm sorry, this was written by the writer who did fucking Morbius. I'm sorry, that was a terrible movie.
More.
Yeah. But you knew how bad and how that movie became a meme, and you're like, yeah, let's keep this guy. Let's bring him on for another one of these things. Why? Why, Sony? Why? And we can make movies like this and other terrible movies. Why don't we have a badass fucking, I don't know, Miles Morales, Spider-Gwen, fucking Sinister Six, movies that people care about, people that we've seen.
They're making some of the best Spider-Man movies that have ever been made.
Yeah.
Across the Spider-Verse. Fucking amazing. I mean, I don't understand why it seems like they're assigning completely different people to these properties when it's like, no, they should all be synergizing together. They should all be understanding what steps we're taking out. Like when they were talking about introducing that one wrestler villain as a movie.
Dude, Bad Bunny as like
the character in comics is like 4 years old. They just created him. He does not have.
Which, I mean, I get they want to hit a market that's untapped. And it's like, yeah, we should see a strong Latino badass character. But it's like,
that in there.
We don't know him. Yeah.
There's other characters.
We could get someone else.
Wait, like,
sure.
We barely get Spider-Man 2099 in the second animated Spider-Man movie when, there you go. There's literally a Latino Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Right there. He just has cool vampire powers.
I'm sorry, who didn't love Spider-Gwen and Spider-Verse? Why not give her a fucking movie opposed to Madam Web? Someone who's a tertiary character nobody cared about. Little girls could look up to Spider-Gwen. You got a big franchise. You don't even need Spider-Man for that.
There's already
exactly.
Like I like the white Spider Girl, Spider-Man. Like they don't even know. They don't even understand. Like, you're missing this market. I don't know.
And these are the people that made
I'm with you
the
on
fucking
Sinister Six, by the way. They need to
100%.
To Sinister Six.
And like this is the studio that made fucking comic book movies that made so much money back in the day with the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. You hit so hard with that. How are you swinging and missing so fucking badly with these movies now? It makes no sense.
It's really too bad. I had a lot of high hopes.
Yeah.
I had everything crushed out, like just and I had this full-grown ass fucking adult for the first 20 goddamn 5 minutes of the movie texting within 3 seats of me. I finally, and by the way, his biceps were bigger than my fucking head. So I was a little scared. I was just like, excuse me, sir, can you please put your phone away? It's very bright.
Yeah.
And I had to repeat myself twice before he's finally put his phone down.
Right.
And I'm like, you're little like 4-year-old kid. He can ask all the questions he wants, which I thought was funny. He's asking, I could audibly hear him asking questions that I was asking in my own head of like, why are we seeing this right now? Like, he's more in tune to the movie than you are, motherfucker. Yeah.
But I don't know. I have a little bit of hope for Kraven the Hunter. I know it's probably going to be bad, but it could be fun. I feel like it's wasted. He should have been just a villain in another Spider-Man movie, hunting Spider-Man. That I would have liked, but
there's some really cool Kraven storyline because he goes beyond just Spider-Man in the comics at times. He's crossed paths with Punisher, and he's one of those like the Daredevil Bullseye-esque, like I am the apex of what I fucking do kind of dudes. And I love those sort of characters where it's like, you don't even have the mysticism surrounding you. You are just so fucking good at what you do. That's what puts you over the edge. You may not be like the strongest on the planet or whatever the fuck, but that's what I'm looking forward to with Kraven. We'll see. I mean, going back to Kick-Ass, that's
true. Yeah,
kind of fun to see him back on the comic book character screen there.
Right.
But, yeah, this one was just.
I mean, hey, I think they just wrapped Venom 3, so that's going to be a doozy.
I'll still watch it. I had fun watching the first two. They weren't amazing movies, but they were worth seeing in the theater.
They were comical. They know what they're doing. They're having fun doing it, I think.
Tom Hardy, man. Fucking that guy.
Oh, yeah. Right?
Kick-Ass.
Fuck.
Dude,
I feel bad, but I mean, it is what it is, I guess.
How many slices are you giving, Matt Webb?
I'll give it 1.5 slices. And it's funny because back in the day, I was sad because I didn't get a chance to work on this movie because they filmed it, some of it out here in Boston. I'm like, I really want to work on that. And now I'm like, I'm happy I dodged a bullet on that one. But no, 1.5 because nope, you're right. I'm downgraded. I'm going to 1. Maybe half. No, I'm going to stick with 1. I'm going to give it 1 because
1.
I liked the backstory on Uncle Ben. I liked it had some decent moments, but I don't know. I don't know.
This is going to be the rare occasion. I'm shooting well below yours.
Ooh.
I'm going 0, double zero, just nothing.
Oh boy.
It's just not. It's one of. This is a movie that could just disappear and no, like as an audience,
we're not that lucky.
We would never know.
We're getting this, but we're not getting back.
The cast and the crew. I feel bad for the people that are relying on this for their jobs. You know, like that's rough because you guys worked hard. It's evident you worked hard, but there's a few people that just said okay to a lot of things that should not have been okayed. So
and you know it's bad when your main actress is going out doing press junkets for it, and she just does not give a fuck.
She'll walk the carpet and just fucking leave. Yeah, no, that's.
Well, I mean, everyone does that pretty much, but I mean, like just giving terrible answers. It's like comical but fun. Like that gives hope.
Oh no, it was just a paycheck.
I mean, she's not wrong, but
I'll go back and make more of the porno you guys all liked. Should I do that again?
Yeah, Anastasia Steele back at it again. 50 Shades of Web. Oh boy.
50 Webs of Black.
Oof. Oh boy. Well, I'm going to try to close this out on a more decent movie, I want to say. I got the new entry, Dune Part 2.
Yes.
Now, I hadn't seen the original. I mean, I saw the original. I saw the fucking old school fucking Dune. The fucking who the fuck? Twin Peaks, David Lynch Dune. I listened to some of the fucking audiobook, and I didn't like any of those. But I was like, fuck Dune. I hate the desert. This movie looks stupid. Fuck it. So I refused to go see the other one.
I love your commitment.
But I watched it on fucking Max the other day, and I'm like, all right, this movie's okay. And so I'm like, I'll go see this new one. And honestly, this one has been getting crazy rave reviews the past couple of weeks. And I was like, this is one I went in. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking hate this movie. I'm gonna justify the fact that this movie sucks. Fuck everyone else. The opposite of what I wanted to do with Madam Web. Yeah. And then I sat down and I was so goddamn delighted. I was like, you grumpy bastard. I saw it on IMAX, and boy, was I loving it. Like, it starts off with a bang, and it just keeps going and going. Like, this movie's almost 3 hours, and it's delightful. So we pick up where the last movie left off, and now fucking Willy Wonka is meeting the other sand people, and a lot of them are like, fuck you, you outsider. We don't want you. And his mom's like, he's the Messiah. And he's like, no, I just want to fucking get to know these people and fight with them and be one of them. And like, he trusts, it's all about him proving himself as one of these guys. And then as he's doing that, the mom's like telling everyone, oh no, my son's the one. And she becomes like this like godly mother lady and like gets people following him. And it's just watching him become who he's destined to be. And he knows what he needs to do. He needs to go south and get all these fucking thousands of warriors to join him to take down the people that fucking killed his entire bloodline. And he refuses to do that because he has these premonitions that something shitty is going to happen if he does that. And everyone's telling him, hey, you got to go and do it. And he's like, no, man. And then we're seeing him and his relationship with the fucking Mary Jane Watson. We're seeing that fucking blossom. We're seeing them fall in love. And as all that's happening, we're seeing how Drax the Destroyer is like screwing up and like not doing his job. And his uncle's like, your brother's gonna take over for you, and his brother's a psychopath played by Elvis. I don't know names. They all got wacky names. I
love this version of what you're saying though, because I know exactly who you're talking about. So it's great.
And fucking so and then oh man, we got so many like talented actors and actresses in this movie. It's just like holy shit. Every couple of like half an hour or more, someone new pops up and it's like, oh, fuck, that person's here. That person's here. So much happens. There's some time jumps that happen, but so much shit happens in this movie. I'd watch a 5-hour cut of this movie. Like,
damn. Well,
and the way it ends, it's weird. It's like my buddy Eddie spoiled like the books. He's like, man, he tells me something. I'm like, they'll never do that in the fucking movies. And they did it. I'm like, oh shit, dude, that's crazy. What's going to happen in Dune Part 3, man? Like, it's insane because, and like the action is like so intense. It's shot so beautifully. Like the action is just so effortless and bloody and gory. And like the cinematography is just so splendid. Like they use natural lighting for most like outdoor scenes. Fucking there's black and white scenes that are stunning. The soundtrack by Hans Zimmer, I believe, is just like so fantastic. And just let alone the sound design in this movie is so fucking amazing. You feel every moment of everything. And most movies, you're a fly on the wall when things are happening, but this, you're right in the shit with everyone as it's happening. You feel like you're a part of the action, and it's nonstop fucking action. It's so intense. And so essentially, it comes down to Paul needs to like have an uprising happen, and he needs to like take care of business. And does he do it? I don't want to spoil it. Probably. I don't know. But, oh, man, I had a blast. And this movie, I liked the first one. The first one was fine. It was serviceable. We were getting to know the world, setting up everything. And this movie was just like a freight train. It took off and never stopped. And, like, this is a rare occasion.
Everything. Is it one of those where, like, all right, you know where we are. You know who these people are. Let's just go. Just story.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
And everyone's giving top-notch fucking performances. Like, nobody's slacking. I felt like my main issue with the first Dune Part 1 was Timothée Chalamet. I felt like his character was just aimless. He was, like, dead-eyed. He just had no emotion. But in this, he was fucking in your face. And then they were selling the first one like Zendaya was a big character. She was barely in the fucking first one. And I'm like, what? She's one of your stars and she's not fucking in this movie. But in this movie, she comes back in a big bad way, which is nice. And like, it's just great seeing everyone come back and like, just even the new additions, like everyone's just killing it. Like there was never a dull fucking moment in this movie. Normally sequels are mediocre, but this one goes above and beyond the first one. Like this movie is so fucking badass and brutal. I would sit down and watch it again, I think. And normally I'm like, I've seen a movie, I don't want to see it again.
Dude. Yeah.
But oh man, I loved every second of this fucking movie, dude.
Badass. Awesome.
I feel like I want to say more, but I don't want to spoil it, but it's just something you really gotta, if you can see it on the big screen, definitely see it. Don't wait till it's streaming. If you can see it in IMAX or Dolby, definitely worthwhile watching it on the biggest possible screen you can see it on.
I would concur with that. When Val and I watched the first one, I know Adam already knows the story, but for you Toasties, we got to actually watch it on the Warner Brothers lot in the screening room that the sound team, we were told, this is where the sound department goes to watch the movies because they want to hear all of the shit, all the things that have been worked on. And the sound design of the first movie was so goddamn incredible. I felt like we were right there. And of course, the projection looks gorgeous too. So I would concur. I imagine, I have not seen part 2 yet, but part 2 would absolutely only benefit from seeing it as big as possible. This movie was made for things to just be at the fullest scale you possibly can see it in.
Now, if it's playing in like
movie theaters alive.
Yeah. Oh, dude, this movie is the Top Gun Maverick of this year. Like, I wanted to see it in IMAX, and like every showtime was pretty much sold out. Like, I had to sit in a weird position, but I'm like, whatever. As long as I'm seeing it in this aspect, like, I feel like this movie is gonna make a fuckload of money. And I hope it's playing in like a 4DX type of theater where like your seat moves and shit. Because I think I want to go see that if I see it again. I really want to feel the action. Even though I already felt like I felt it.
Page is just throwing handfuls of sand in your lap as they walk.
Yeah. Oh man, it was just so fucking good. I really thought I was gonna hate it, and it blew my expectations.
I'm glad that was your experience, dude. That's awesome. That is fucking awesome. That's what most.
And it was one of the rare times
should do. You know, like I want to go on that journey of just being blown away and. I'm very much looking forward.
And you could tell the audience wanted to be there. Nobody was on their fucking phones, distracting from it. Like everyone was just immersed in like.
Nice.
Oh man,
that's fucking it. Yeah, right there.
Oh, 100%. I'm gonna give Dune Part 2 4 slices of toast, man. It's definitely worth checking out. Yeah.
Dude, yes, that's awesome to hear. I love it. I love it.
I hope they do a third. They haven't said if they're doing a third, but come on, why wouldn't they? There's no way Warner Brothers is
I heard from a coworker of mine a year ago, I guess now, talking about how the first one had certain story points left out. I'm curious if the second one acknowledges any of that, or if it's one of those like the Harry Potter movies, like you just got to leave certain things out because you're never, or the you're never going to get around to telling every aspect of it. But as long as it translates to an entertaining movie at the end of the day, that's the important part. And
like
you said, between this cast,
100%,
the dialogue, the sets, I fucking love the sets.
It's so sexy. Like every set was believable and just beautiful and just catches your eye in this like amazing way. And
hell yeah,
I don't know. People say like it. The first 2 books are like okay. They say like the third, the fourth, like they say as it goes on, it gets crazier. But some of the people's favorite books are the later books. So I guess it can only get bigger and better. I think, but we'll see.
Nice.
Yeah,
well, awesome.
Definitely. Where I want to hear what you think about it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. We're definitely going to make a point of seeing this one in theaters for sure. It's going to make that happen. Absolutely.
Nice. I think that brings us to the end of the reviews.
Yeah, that's a decent stack too, and a wide range. I love we got a 0 and a 4 in one episode,
right?
So
back to back.
How often does that happen?
Both those scores, not too often over here. Every now and again, I guess.
We do try to reserve it. Like the absolute best and the absolute worst should be low volume. You know, we can't be just handing.
Sure, 100%.
I love that we've. Is this the first 4 slicer this year?
Might be first for me. I think.
Oh,
I've had 3.5s.
My first, I think, was Society of the Snow. Oh no, you had Saltburn.
Okay.
You gave Saltburn a 4.
Was that this year? I thought that was last
Oh,
year.
good.
No?
Oh, good point. It was probably the end of last year.
I could be
For that
wrong.
radical. Yeah,
Doesn't
yeah.
matter.
That
was
might
a good
be
movie.
the end of last year. No, I was excited because I was like, wait a minute, I don't think we've done that yet.
Huh.
Regardless, still,
Yeah.
there's never very many, so that's a high praise,
Yeah.
folks. High fucking praise.
Well, yeah.
Stack of slices, folks.
Think so.
I know I teased it a little bit at the various breaks before. We had a little guest show up, but Movie Toast the Festival is happening again this December. Filmfreeway.com/Movie Toast the Festival. You can apply again. If you have a short film you are excited to share with the world, please come submit it to us. It's a low-cost, low-entry film festival. We're really just about getting out to the masses. And we sift through each and every film. We watch them all, and we try to offer you back the best that we had to see, the best to offer. We've had many return submitters keep coming back, and we've had a lot of first timers. That's when they finally strike it gold. This is the first time they've won. It's a really fun time. It's all virtual. You can watch it from the comfort of your own home. Please come check out Movie Toast the Festival this December. Whether you're submitting or you just want to join the party, it'll be a great time, and we hope to see you there. We are also
100%
on a few social media platforms, I think.
You could say that. Yeah.
1 or 2?
We're pretty much everywhere.
Or 5 or all of them?
I mean, we got 2 Facebooks because why not? We got an X, we got fucking Instagram, we got fucking TikTok, the YouTube, I don't know, Threads. I think that's about it. But there's probably other ones floating around there.
Called I Heard It on the X.
Oh. And most of those places were at movie_toast. And yeah, things get posted every day. Every day I try to put up a new movie review for the most part, a mini tiny compact review, or mini clips of this show. There's just different things here and there. Every Saturday we do polls. That's where we get the poll segment of our episodes. So you never know. But if you could go over to wherever you get your podcasts, primarily Apple Podcasts, and leave a review for us. Let us know what works, what doesn't work, what you like, what you don't like. 0 stars to 5 stars, whatever you feel is accurate. Let us know. We want to improve the show. Want to know what you like, what you hate, and yeah, I don't know, all that fun jazz.
Absolutely. Tell us when to bring back trivia, because we're both fucking itching for it. So
I miss the trivia, but the people who spoke, Dennis, they don't want us to do trivia because apparently it sucks.
Spoken.
Even though it's my favorite part. It's my favorite. That's what happens. You tell us something sucks, we get rid of it. You tell us the podcast sucks, we'll still do it, but we'll find a way to make it slightly better. Hopefully,
yeah. Know. We'll try to make it better.
Yeah.
That's the safe bet there.
Yeah.
Well, Toasties.
But, yeah.
At the end of the day, after all that, you've watched all your films. You're ready to just snuggle up into your little toasty bed there. We would just ask you, please, stay toasty.
I like hearing your mouse click as you're like doing the theme song out there, the outro. That's always fun.
I wish they were further apart, but that's not.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Oh man! So next week we're doing the live stream next Sunday, 2 weeks in a row. That's unheard of. And then the following episode we're going to be in the same room recording for the first time ever. So that's going to be fun.
I'm so looking forward to that. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah.
WonderCon, folks. If you're going to be in Anaheim, California for WonderCon, flag down the Movie Toast hats or whatever accoutrement you see us adorning featuring Movie Toast. We will be there on the floor. We will be in the Anaheim area. Maybe there's a point you can meet up with us. I don't know. We'll flesh that out, but that will be some of the next coverage. We're really looking forward to doing that.
Yeah, I look forward.
Getting to watch.
Can't wait till they put the schedule up. I can't wait to do some interviews, Dennis.
Yes,
I'm looking forward to it.
In person.
Yeah, hopefully.
In person.
Yes. None of this Zoom shit.
Ears.
Fuck that. Yes.
Oh, it's
Well,
gonna be great, man. Been looking forward to it.
yes, I'm looking forward to it a lot. Should be fun. But oh,
All
did
right,
you
dude.
see? Well,
Oh,
I don't know how you could
no,
see
no, no.
it, but now AMC now has an updated Nicole Kidman intro. Now
Oh,
she's watching new
thank
movies, talking about
God.
sound and the magic of sound. It's thrilling stuff. Cut it down to a 30-second spot. I like that.
Oh, or
Good
we could
times.
just pay her
Not
another
do it.
like $90,000 and fucking shoot another one.
Something
'cause
new.
holy
And you can
shit.
tell it's the same. Like it's just like a different camera angle that she says one line, and then
And
everything else is the same.
the movie screen is different movies. I'm like, well, that's the
Yeah,
easiest,
yeah.
cheapest fucking
They
part to
put
change out.
Elvis and they put Avatar, and that's it.
Yep.
And I'm like, cool. But
Yeah.
not as interesting. But
I think that's
shorter,
what I saw when
so
I
I'll
went to
take it.
see Madam Web. So
Ah,
it was that
damn.
one.
I thought it was fresh and hot now, but just made it my way. Fuck. Well, I'm happy you
Yeah.
saw it at least.
Nicole,
Thanks
love
for
ya.
listening. Thanks for watching, everybody. Nicole, thanks for your hard work. Tell Tom Cruise we said hey.
I don't think that'll happen anytime soon, but
It will. It will. You gotta believe in it.
in their biopic about themselves.
Yeah.
When we made
Nicole.
Eyes Wide Shut. It's
Now
called
that's
Nicole. Yeah,
that's
great.
probably a good story back there. Kubrick doing some crazy
That would be a
sex stuff.
that would be a
That's a
crazy
movie in
I would
itself.
watch the fuck out of that. But they have to play themselves in the movie.
Ooh, that'd be something. I've never seen the movie. I gotta watch it. The actual
Jesus.
movie,
Oh, dude.
not the fictitious movie.
It's not as hot as I feel like people try to play it. It's
I didn't think it would be.
It's good.
I-
Like it's a dark, twisted tale. It's like a softer fucking The Ninth Gate, but with less actual
Oh.
Satan.
Damn. Wait, is Satan at the orgies? Is there really a devil, or is there just none?
in the Ninth
It's just
Gate?
no Ninth Gate. No, in the Eyes Wide Shut.
Oh no. And
Okay, I thought you meant there was just less. There was a little Satan, but not enough
no.
Satan.
It's like they're
Okay.
a cult, but it's more like they're like a fucking Bang 'em and Benham cult.
Oh, you know,
It's a
I
Bang 'em
heard
and
on a
Benham bit.
podcast that there's some sex clubs where people go and there's like a buffet of food beforehand, and it's like it's the grossest thing ever. You're gonna eat all this food and then you're gonna bang. I don't know. So
What's
weird.
the point of the mask? I can see your face because you're stuffing your face with a chicken wing.
I
Well,
forgot about
no.
that episode.
People are gross, but the food's
Uh,
good.
I guess that's real life, man. Frank Reynolds gets it.
I would like to believe it exists. You need the
I
energy.
bet.
You need protein. You got a lot of movement going on. There's thrusting happening. You're gonna need to fuel back up.
I think that's a good note to end the show on, Dennis. Fueling up and thrusting.
The title right there. There's thrusting happening.
Thanks,
All right,
everybody.
folks. Yep. Thanks for joining us.
Stay toasty.